The sterile hospital room was filled with the steady beeping of medical monitors. Amelia, a 21-year-old, stood beside her father, Steve, observing him connected to various medical devices. The doctor broke the silence, questioning, "Are you absolutely sure about this, Amelia? Once we start, there's no turning back." With a long, weary breath, Amelia asked the doctor to turn off her dad's life support, stating, I have to do it, doctor. He wouldn't want to live like this. It's what he would have wanted." Reluctantly nodding, the doctor patted Amelia on the shoulder, instructing the nurse to prepare. Suddenly, a voice awoke from the hospital bed. "I knew it." Steve twitched his eyes open and smiled at Amelia. "Dad, you're awake?" gasped Amelia. As Steve sat up, he experienced a stabbing pain in his head but couldn't remember anything. "Mr. Oswald, can you hear me? Mr. Oswald?" The doctor waved his hand. The sterile, antiseptic smell reminded Steve of the hospital ward, and the constant beeping machines annoyed him. "How did I end up here?" he asked. "What happened?" "Dad, it's okay. Just relax. Calm down. I knew you would come, sweetie. I could hear your voice in the back of my head, though I was unconscious. You are the only one who understands me. But what happened to me? What am I doing here? And where's your mom? And Chloe? Mr. Oswald, please don't strain yourself. You must rest." "It's a miracle you survived," the doctor chimed in. "No, doctor. I need to know what happened to me. Amelia, why aren't you saying anything? Can somebody please tell me what's going on?" Desperation and an untold fear gripped Steve's heart as he tried to recollect disoriented images of him holding a car key and getting into the car fully drunk. "Can someone please tell me what's going on? What happened to me? Amelia, where's Mom, and your sister? Why are they not here?" Amelia swallowed hard. "They are dead," she said, shocking Steve. "And you're responsible, Dad. You killed them. You killed Mom and my sister. You did it." Steve's shoulders shook. "What do you mean I killed them? What happened to them?" "Amelia, wait, let me do this. He mustn't stress," the doctor said, sidling past Amelia. "What's happening, doctor? I don't understand. Where's my wife and daughter? What is Amelia saying?" "Well, some time ago, you went out drinking, Steve," the doctor began. "And then you took your car from the pub's parking lot and decided to drive. You were drunk beyond your senses. And you got into an accident. Your wife and younger daughter came rushing to meet you in their car. Unfortunately, they got into an accident on the way, and I am so sorry, Steve." "Stay strong." Steve held his head, trying to piece together everything the doctor said. "When was this, doctor?" The doctor sighed as he scanned the report. "This was a long time ago. Let me check. This happened way back in 2014, Steve." "Way back?" Steve raised a brow. "What do you mean by way back?" The doctor shook his head. "We're in 2021 now, Steve. You got into that accident 7 years ago." The doctor's words echoed like a thunderclap in Steve's ears. 7 years? We're in 2021? Yes, Steve, the doctor said, showing Steve that day's newspaper dated August 2021. "I can't believe this." Tears welled up in Steve's eyes as he grabbed the newspaper and saw the date. "It can't be. 7 years? I was in a coma for 7 years? In this hospital?" Amelia and the doctor nodded. Steve's world crumbled around him as he clutched his head and cried. He was so confused, and shaken. It just feels like I saw my wife and daughters yesterday, at home, before leaving for work." "Amelia, darling, what happened to your wedding with Jake?" Amelia's eyes filled with sorrow. "Dad, we'll talk about it later. You need to calm down and rest." She stood by Steve's side. "No. I need to know everything." Steve cried. "And you look the same. You haven't changed a bit." You look like you haven't changed at all in these 7 years. How old are you now? Seriously, Dad? Mom and Chloe are dead. You wake up after 7 years of lying still in the hospital, and you're worried about my looks? My age? Wow. Steve's voice trembled as he posed the question that weighed heavily on his heart. Amelia, please. You've got to tell me what happened. I can't recall anything. How did Mom and your sister die? A drunk driver, a drunkard monster like you, rammed into their car. Amelia's voice broke. Mom and Chloe, they died on the spot before the paramedics reached the scene. Steve was crushed, and a heavy silence hung in the air as Amelia's voice trailed off. He found himself in tears, clutching his head, remembering the cruelty he had unleashed upon his own family. The malevolent grip of alcohol had shattered the once beautiful life he shared with his wife, Samantha, and their children. What really happened before Steve landed in the hospital? It was a serene night in the tranquil Maple Street neighborhood. While everyone else settled into their cozy homes, envisioning their children's future, careers, and delightful plans, Steve's phone persistently buzzed on his car seat. But that night, Steve was in no state to answer the calls. He stood outside his home, in the driveway. His phone screen repeatedly displayed just one name, Samantha, against the backdrop of a wedding picture. It was Steve's and Samantha's lovely wedding photo, a favorite of his. Steve! Steve! Open the door! Steve! Samantha hurried out, anxiously tapping on the window. What? Steve groaned. Intoxicated beyond awareness, he failed to notice the concern in his wife's eyes. Steve! What the hell? Not again. What are you doing? Sam! Oh God! Steve moaned. Open this goddamn door right now! Samantha demanded as Steve rolled down the window, reeking of alcohol. Give that to me. Samantha angrily reached for the whiskey bottle, but Steve, swift as ever, downed the last drop and tossed the empty bottle onto the seat. Steve, open the door and get out. Now! We need to talk. Okay. I'm coming. God, stop annoying me. I just got home. Steve mumbled, rubbing his puffy eyes. Upon opening the door and stepping out, Samantha peered inside, shocked, and began yelling at Steve. I cannot believe that you're drinking and driving again. You promised me you wouldn't. Steve! Answer me. What the hell's going on? Sam, I wasn't drinking and driving, okay? I was just out with my friends. We had a little party. It's a normal thing. Don't make a scene, Steve argued. I'm okay. I can stand on my feet, see? I'm so steady. Oh, really? Then what is this? And this? Samantha yelled, tossing beer tins and whiskey bottles out of his car. You're lying to me again. Sam, babe, can we take this inside? Besides, I'm starving. Samantha watched in disbelief as Steve struggled towards the main door and inside the living room, only to lose his balance and collapse near the stairs with a heavy thud. Amy? Amelia, can you please come here and help me, honey? Samantha called out to her older daughter. Amelia. Her younger daughter, Chloe, had gone to a friend's house for a sleepover. What? No way! Is he drunk again? Amelia rushed to her mom's side as they hurriedly brought Steve inside and laid him on the couch. Samantha was seething. She couldn't bear to witness her husband destroy the peace in their house. Mom, wait, where are you going? Amelia ran after her mom to the kitchen. Moments later, Samantha returned with a jug of cold water and splashed it on Steve, startling him to his senses. Samantha, what the hell is wrong with you? Steve barked and jumped up with water dripping all over him. You need help, Steve, Samantha argued. What if our little daughter saw you like this? What will she think about you? Oh, come on, Sam. Our daughter is asleep. She'll only come to know if you don't stop barking. Steve waved his hand and groaned. His head hurt so much due to all that drinking and partying at the bar. Besides, I'm an adult. I'm 45, damn it. I bust myself all day for you guys, so I deserve a little time for myself. I don't have to answer all your questions. Steve eased back onto the couch, extending his hand to Samantha, asking for help to his room. She, however, refused. You're right. You're an adult, and you don't need anyone's help. Crawl upstairs yourself. And you know what? Chloe is not home. She's having her sleepover today, and you don't even know where your daughter is. Wow. You are certainly Dad of the Year. Go to hell. Steve mumbled as he grabbed his jacket and wobbled his way upstairs. Mom? Now what? Amelia rolled her eyes and shook her head. Is he not gonna stop drinking? I hate seeing Dad like this. I hope he doesn't make a scene at my wedding. Sweetie, go to bed. We'll talk tomorrow. I will put an end to this soon. Don't worry. Steve was sound asleep when the morning rays filtering through the bedroom window roused him from his peaceful slumber. What is wrong with you? It's early in the morning. Turn off the lights, he groggily mumbled. My eyes are hurting, Sam. Turn off the goddamn lights. Steve, wake up, Daddy Bear. It's 7 in the morning. Get up. Samantha pulled Steve's blanket. Stop. I don't have to think about work for another 3 hours. The office starts at 10. Let me sleep. My head hurts. Samantha sat beside Steve and smiled, brushing his hair with her fingers. Honey, did you forget about your promise? What promise? You told me you would jog every morning with me. And join the gym. Remember? And you would start dieting. Have you forgotten? When did I promise? I don't recall anything like that. Now, please let me go back to sleep. No way. Get up, lazybones. It's time to exercise. Samantha forced Steve to get up. I can't, Sam. I'm tired. I want to sleep. I'm not feeling well. You'll be fine once you get up, honey. Come on now, up. I made some orange juice. Freshen up. But Steve refused, holding his chest tight. Please, can we go tomorrow? My chest is burning. I'm feeling a bit sick. Guess it's last night's fried chicken. It got Samantha worried, but she persisted. No, Steve, you can't do this all the time, okay? It would hardly take you 5 minutes to get ready. Now, come on, move it. I'm not buying your stupid excuses. Sam, I can't. I'm not feeling all right. I'm feeling weird in my chest. It's hurting. Uneasiness and anxiety washed over Samantha. She couldn't clearly make out if Steve was lying to her. But the way he clutched his chest tightly made her heart race. Honey, remember what Dr. Craig said the other day? You need to take your health more seriously, Steve. You've been drinking like crazy, and overeating, which is not good for your health. Please listen to me. You need to work out, and change your eating habits. Oh yeah, Dr. Craig must be telling this to all his patients. It's no big deal. You know what? You're the main reason I have half my health problems. My heart burns, and I get so exhausted 'cause of your non-stop nagging all the time. Stop giving me your useless advice, okay? Leave me alone. Don't get me started early in the morning. Steve scowled. Heartbroken by his words, Samantha hurled the blanket on his face and angrily stormed away. A loud live baseball commentary filled the living room as Samantha walked in with her younger daughter, Chloe, later that evening after picking her up from school. Hey, Pumpkin! How was your day in school? How was your play? Did it go well? Steve greeted his daughter with a warm smile as he sat on the couch with a packet of chips and cola. Oh, great! So you remember I had a play today. Where were you, Dad? Chloe confronted. You told me you'd be sitting in the front row, clapping and cheering for me. But I never saw you there. You missed my play again, Steve exchanged a glance with Samantha and understood she was furious. "Hey, Bunny, Dad was sick today, love. So I took some rest. I'm so sorry for not making it this time." Steve fabricated a lie. But Samantha quickly noticed the cans of beer he was hiding under the cushion. "I promise, I'll not miss your next play, okay?" Steve added. "I have a play in 2 weeks. I hope you'll keep your word and make it to that," Chloe said with her eyes downcast and retired to her bedroom. As soon as their daughter disappeared upstairs, Samantha crossed her arms and stared at Steve, demanding an explanation. "All right, look, before you get started like an old, broken record, I was really sick, okay?" Steve pulled a long face as he reasoned. "Otherwise, I would have been there. I promise I'll go the next time without fail. Promise. Oh, great. So you mean all this is making you healthier?" Samantha pointed to the empty, crumpled packets of chips and popcorn scattered around Steve. "Honey, stop. What are you doing?" Steve gasped when she leaned closer and pulled out the cans of beers he had hidden. "And this? God, for once, Steve. Why don't you take things seriously? I don't want to become a widow so young, and when we have a young daughter to raise, and one who is getting married soon. Why don't you understand and start acting like a responsible father? It's not a big deal, Sam. You're making a scene for every small thing." Steve argued. "You call this small thing? Really? Wow. And did you skip work today? You don't look like you went to the office at all. You're still in your pajamas. Come on, Samantha. I told you I have plenty of sick days. I won't lose any pay, don't worry. I'll take care of it. We're just 2 weeks ahead of my payday, and we will party once I get paid, okay? You think I'm worried about money, and partying, Steve? No. Absolutely not. I'm growing sick of you killing yourself every day, with all that heavy drinking and your unhealthy eating habits. Oh, not again, Samantha. I'll sleep it off and be alright after a night's rest, okay? A night's rest won't fix anything. Steve. And you know what? If something happens to you, it doesn't just affect you. It affects all of us, Amelia, Chloe, me. Why aren't you getting that into your goddamn head, Sam? You're complicating things by overthinking. I'm fine. Nothing's gonna happen to me, Steve said, grabbing another can of beer. Just look at me, I'm healthy, and fine. Daddy Bear is alright, see, great. You're fine by drinking and partying with your good-for-nothing friends? Wow. Samantha fumed. I'm so sick of this. I've done everything I can to make you realize your mistake. But if you're done with your life, then so be it. But you don't have the right to ruin your family, Steve. Oh. God. You know what, Samantha? Why don't you take a break and just... Steve rose from the couch, coughing. Steve? Are you all right? Steve? Samantha panicked. Steve clutched his chest tightly and collapsed on the couch. Steve, hey? What happened, Steve? Steve groaned in pain. I can't breathe. Terrified, Samantha rushed to grab her phone and called 911. A few hours later, Steve opened his eyes in the hospital, with Samantha and his children by the bedside. Daddy! Chloe ran and hugged her father. Hey, Pumpkin! Daddy's gonna be alright. Don't worry. Amy, can you please take your sister outside for a minute and wait? I'll be right back. Samantha turned to Amelia. As soon as the girls left the ward, Samantha turned to the doctor as she squeezed Steve's hand. She'd seen the uneasy look on the doctor's face as he studied the reports and knew something was wrong. What is it, doctor? Is everything all right, Mrs. Oswald? We're still waiting for the test reports to come from the lab, the doctor said. But looking at your heart checkup report, I'm so concerned, Steve. Have you been drinking a lot lately? Steve painfully sighed. He did not want the doctor to tell further if it was some bad news. Samantha pressed Steve's hands, nudging him to talk. It's nothing extraordinary, document. You know. Steve pulled a face. Just 4 or 5 bottles of whiskey. Iced, of course. Not neat, only 4 or 5. Samantha whispered and rolled her eyes. All right, just 7 or 8 bottles. Not more than that, I swear. Steve confessed. 7 or 8 bottles a week? The doctor exclaimed. No. Every other day. That's quite a problem you're brewing for yourself, Steve. The doctor shook his head. And how about your diet? Are you eating healthy? Do you work out every day? Well, I do, you know. I jog every morning, hit the gym, with my wife. We have a gym for staff in my office. I work out there whenever I get the time. No. He's lying. Samantha chimed in, raising a brow. Stop lying, Steve. You shouldn't lie to your doctor. He does nothing other than drink daily after work, and eat unhealthy snacks, doctor. Samantha added. I advised him to work out with me, to join the gym, to stop drinking, to exercise. But he won't. You got to listen to your wife, Steve, the doctor said. If you don't start exercising, start eating a healthy diet, and stop drinking for a while, then, Steve, you must change your lifestyle at least temporarily, okay? The doctor added. Otherwise, the next time you come in. Samantha and Steve exchanged a worried glance as the doctor approached, closer with a sympathetic look etched on his face. Let me get this straight, Steve, there may not be a next time if you don't change your ways. But it's never too late, if you get what I mean. So please take this very seriously, Steve. Tears gushed into Samantha's eyes, and her heart raced. This was not something she had come prepared to hear. She only hated Steve's drinking and unhealthy eating habits, but not him. The doctor's words echoed in her head and stung her heart. Do you hear me, Steve? The doctor jolted Steve. Yes, document. I do, Steve said, his gaze shifting to Samantha. I promise. I promise I will change. We've sent some samples for testing. We're still trying to figure out if it was just a heartburn or a heart attack. The doctor added. Mrs. Oswald, I'll call you once I get the results. They should arrive in a couple of weeks. Take care, Steve. And remember what I said. Have a nice day. Once the doctor left, Samantha interpreted the confused look on her husband's face and grew worried. Honey, did you mean what you just said? That you won't drink and change your lifestyle? She asked him. Steve sighed. Sam, I'm not sure. But I'm getting this weird feeling that it was just really bad heartburn, not a heart attack. Okay, so you mean the doctor is lying, huh, Steve? Samantha crossed her arms. No, I didn't say so. Why don't we just wait for the test results instead of drawing conclusions? Once the results arrive, we'll take things from there. 2 days later, Steve returned to work, and while he was away, Samantha decided to clean the house. They had been planning on throwing a family dinner soon, so she wanted the house to look prim and proper before the big day arrived. Moreover, their oldest daughter, Amelia, was all set to marry her longtime boyfriend and fiancé, Jake, in a few weeks. So Samantha was busy cleaning the house and discarding trash and old items. Just as Samantha gathered all the trash bags to dispose of them, she heard weird clinking noises emanating from one of the bags. She untied the bag and peeked inside, only to get the shock of her life. Hey, honey! How was your day? Steve entered through the front door after a long day at work. He slowed down, and his smile slowly faded when he realized his wife was fiercely staring at him. Sam, is everything okay? I was thinking maybe we could order takeaway for dinner and… Steve paused when Samantha angrily placed the empty whiskey bottles and beer cans on the kitchen counter. Sam. Let me explain. I know. Samantha fumed. What will it take for you to take this seriously, Steve? Come on, Sam. It's just a couple of beer cans and 2 whiskey bottles. Nothing serious. I'm alive in front of you. Not that I died of a heart attack. I mean, it's not a big deal. I am not drinking nearly as much as I used to. You can see that, okay? Steve argued politely. Oh, no big deal, right? Samantha hissed. So if it's no big deal, Steve, then why did you hide these bottles and cans? Why didn't you drink openly like you always did? Why did you hold your chest and get admitted to the hospital? You haven't been working out like you promised. You haven't changed your lifestyle even a bit. And now, you started drinking again? Is this how you keep your word? Steve pulled out a can of beer from his pocket and slammed it on the counter. You know, I feel I'm in good shape and healthy despite drinking all this. I'm happy and peaceful, until you start lecturing me and chewing my brains all the time. He barked. Excuse me? Yeah, you're the reason why I'm having those annoying heartburns or heart attacks in the first place. And you know what? I should have told the doctor that. Stop it, Steve. Enough. You were in the hospital, and you could barely walk. You couldn't even go to the toilet on your own without my help. What is it going to take you to take the doctor's advice more seriously, Steve? Our daughter's wedding is arriving. Have you forgotten? The reason, Samantha. 'Cause we still don't know what it is. We're not sure what made us rush me to the hospital. Steve yelled. Until we figure out what exactly happened, I don't think there's a point in me changing. And I'm sure I'll be steady enough and sober to walk Amelia down the aisle. You don't have to worry about that, okay? Besides, I'm not the only man who drinks. There are thousands of men drinking out there. Are they all dead? No, right? Are they happy? Probably not, 'cause they don't have an annoying wife like you who keeps schooling them all the time. God. Don't put words in my mouth. Come again, really, Steve? You want to do this? Samantha snapped, only to be interrupted by a phone call. Look, I'm tired. I'm going to take a shower and watch a movie. Can you take that? Steve smirked, walking away. Samantha sighed disappointedly as she picked up the phone and answered. Hello, Mrs. Oswald. Dr. Craig here. Oh, hello, Dr. Craig. Samantha gasped, hoping to receive some positive news about Steve's reports. I called to let you guys know that your husband, Steve, is absolutely okay, the doctor said. It was just a case of severe heartburn caused by acidity. Nothing to worry about. He should take the medicine I prescribed if the heartburn returns. Okay. Samantha heaved with relief. I'll let him know, doctor. Thanks for calling. Samantha raced upstairs to deliver the good news to Steve, and stopped in her tracks when she saw him opening another can of beer in his room. She thought for a while and pulled out her phone. After switching to silent mode, Samantha pressed the mobile against her ear and began talking loudly, garnering Steve's attention. Oh no, doctor. I wasn't expecting such bad news from you, Samantha uttered as Steve paused and listened. I just can't believe it. I understand, yes, I will. I can't believe this is happening. It's so heartbreaking. I don't know how to process this. Yes. Thank you. So, what did Dr. Craig say? That it was just heartburn? I knew it. Samantha suddenly burst into tears as Steve put the beer tin on the table and approached her. Hey, what's going on? Why are you crying? It wasn't a heartburn, Steve, Samantha replied. You did have a heart attack, and there's something else the doctor told me based on your reports. You have only 2 months to live if you're lucky. Blood drained off Steve's face, and his eyes grew moist. He just didn't know how to process this news. 2 months to live? Well, what are you talking about? He broke down. We'll visit another doctor. We'll visit more if we can. It could be a mistake with the reports. Samantha saw the desperation to live in Steve's eyes. The reports won't lie, Steve. Dr. Craig is one of the top specialists in this field. He won't lie. I don't want to die like this. Steve cried. No. I'm not ready to die. I haven't traveled around the world. I haven't taken you guys to Paris. I haven't posed for those pictures Amelia wanted of us under the Eiffel Tower. I want to live. I want to see Chloe growing older. I want to walk Amelia down the aisle. I want to watch her get married. I'm not ready to die, Sam. There's nothing we can do, Steve. Samantha feigned tears. Unless you listen to what the doctor told you. You have to quit drinking. Start eating healthy, and work out every day. By doing all this, you might have a slim chance. Sam, I don't want to die. I am ready to do anything. I want you to help me. Please, I want to live. Help me. Steve hugged Samantha, pleading with her to help him overcome this darkest phase of his life. I'm here for you, Steve. You don't have to worry. Samantha shed tears of joy, guessing little about the hefty price she'd have to pay for her lie. As days passed, Steve changed his lifestyle. He quit drinking, ate healthy, and even hit the gym daily. He emptied all the whiskey bottles and beer down the sink, as Samantha watched with a big, fat smile. Even Amelia and Chloe applauded Steve for it. He loved transitioning into the new person he was now. It was as if the storm had calmed down, and the lost peace had been restored in their cozy little house. Steve focused on his work and devoted more time to his family. He stopped partying with his friends and never dropped by the bar, their favorite hangout spot, to even say hi to them. Steve had completely changed. He even attended Chloe's school play and cheered out loud for her. They went on picnics every weekend and went grocery shopping together. With time and without the evil grasp of alcohol, Steve became this whole different person Samantha and the kids yearned for and loved. But one day, everything changed when Steve went grocery shopping alone. Canned beans, peanut butter. Steve muttered as he tossed the items in his shopping cart. Just as he finished shopping and stopped by at a nearby gas station, he ran into Dr. Craig. Hey there, Doc! Steve greeted the doctor and patted him on the shoulder. Hey, Steve! How are you doing? Good! Dr. Craig was really excited to see Steve looking fit, energetic, and smiling. I don't have to ask. But I can see that you've been taking my advice seriously, Steve. The doctor smiled. Looks like you've lost a bit of weight. You look great, man. Yes, I am, Doc, Steve said. I'm eating healthy. I work out daily. It has become a ritual now. And I quit drinking. The doctor was astonished. I see. That's incredible news, Steve. How's everyone at home? All good, yes. I spend more time with my family nowadays. Everything's good, couldn't have been better. Steve smiled. All thanks to you, and Samantha. Great. See you then, alright, hey. Steve stopped the doctor. Doc, I just wanted to ask you something. What do you think the chances are now? Dr. Craig raised a brow because he had no clue what Steve was talking about. Chances? I don't get you. What do you mean? Well, you know, when we got the test results, and I have only 2 months to live, a month is already over. Now that I'm healthier, you know. Is there a way to reverse it? What 2 months? Reverse what? I don't understand what you're talking about. The doctor suspiciously grinned. Doc, you called up Samantha, and you told her I have only 2 months to live after suffering a massive heart attack. Steve explained. After getting my test reports, Steve stared into the doctor's eyes as he awaited a response. No. I don't remember saying anything like that to your wife, Steve, the doctor said, leaving Steve shaken to the core. You had just suffered a severe heartburn. I informed Samantha about this. Didn't she tell you? Steve froze. He angrily drove home to confront Samantha, feeling betrayed and defeated. How could she lie to me? How dare she do this to me? His mind raced. Samantha? Samantha, you home? You better come here and explain yourself. Samantha? Steve pulled out his phone and called his wife. But his calls went unanswered and then to voicemail. An hour later, the front door swung open, and in walked Samantha with a big shopping bag in her hand. Honey, sorry I'm late. We were shopping for Amelia's bridal gown. You should see her in that gown. OMG. She looks so pretty, like an angel. Samantha chuckled as she tossed the car keys on the table. Babe, are you alright? Without uttering a word, Steve grabbed a bottle of whiskey and put it on the table, startling Samantha. Steve, did you drink again? You can't be serious. What the hell? She fumed. Clasping his fingers tightly, Steve stared Samantha in the eye. I met someone at the gas station today. Samantha's brows shot up. Who? Dr. Craig. Terror surged into Samantha like a flood. Steve, honey, I can explain. I'm sorry. Explain what, Samantha? Steve slammed the table and rose. You lied to me. You told me I would die. You played with my feelings by thinking you were outsmarting me. Do you even know how hard it was for me to change? My whole body started aching. It was like walking on a bed of needles. But I still changed. I pressed forward despite all that pain and emotional struggle. 'Cause I trusted you. Honey, wait, Steve, come back. I did this for you, for us. Please. But Steve had already disappeared through the front door. Samantha burst into tears as she heard his car leave. At this point and at this hour, she knew Steve would retire to only one place, the Moonlight Bar. As days passed, everything changed in the once happy household. Steve returned to his old habits of drinking and overeating junk food. He stopped caring about his health and started coming home late and drunk. Samantha could do nothing to change him as Steve had lost all trust in her. He partied hard with his friends and took unwanted sick leaves. Not that he completely forgot about his family, but some old habits die hard, and this was something Steve was dealing with. One night, he visited the bar after work and downed 2 bottles of whiskey. Steve was drunk out of his mind and wanted to drink more. Excuse me, can you make me another shot, please? He asked the bartender. I'll have another one of those. Thank you. Seeing Steve was overly drunk, the bartender smirked and refused. I'm sorry. I think you've had enough. Steve's phone kept buzzing on the counter. Samantha was endlessly calling him. It was close to the midnight hour, and she grew worried as Steve was usually never this late. Another shot, Steve grimly told the bartender again after he returned from fixing someone's drink. No. I'm sorry, sir. We're closing in 10 minutes. Fine. Steve scowled, grabbing his car keys and phone. I'm sure there are plenty of bars open elsewhere. Sir, you're not driving in this condition, are you? The bartender grew concerned. That's none of your business, pal. Here, keep the change. Steve slammed the change on the counter and wobbled out of the bar. Which is my car? There, the gray one. No, it's